If you want to go the extra mile and support me as a content creator, you can do so as joining as a YouTube member. All I need to do is go to the description down below and click on the YouTube gaming link. When you do, a join button will pop up, and once you click it, you can become a YouTube member. YouTube members get special chat icons and emotes, exclusive Discord roles, shoutouts, and more. So if that sounds interesting to you, you can join as a YouTube member today. What is up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links video, and in today's Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links video, I'm going to be telling you guys my top 6 favorite Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links 5D's World Summoning animations. Now, the reason why we're doing a top 6 instead of a top 5 in today's Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links video is simply because of the fact I just didn't want to exclude one of the Signer Dragons in today's list, because the only summoning animations that we're going to be talking about are the 6 different Signer Dragons, because one, Trudge sadly did not get a summoning animation for Go-Yo Guardian. That was really disappointing, and 2, Jack Atlas's Red Dragon Archfiend summoning animation actually got revealed before Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's World came out, so that was something really cool. So I thought in today's video I was going to include basically all these 6 different Signer Dragons, talk about their summoning animations, and give you guys basically my thoughts and opinions on them, and I guess a review in a sense on what I personally think are the best summoning animations in today's video. So if you guys are excited for today's video, as always, be sure to go hit the like button down below on the video and subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, so you can get notified when I make new Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links content. Now, of course, you can always wait to like and subscribe until you actually watch the video, but I always say that at the beginning because, you know, YouTube, bro, we just got to do them YouTube shenanigans right there, but still. And then also one last thing I want to talk about is if you guys have a different list or a different opinion on the best summoning animations from 5D's World, you guys can tell me your guys' top 6 list in the description, or not in the description down below, in the comment section down below in today's video. But without further ado, let's go talk about the top 6 best Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links 5D's World summoning animations. So coming up in the number 6 spot, I'm going to be putting Ancient Fairy Dragon in the final spot. Now, I am going to give my good points on why I like Ancient Fairy Dragon's animation, but I'm also going to give you guys a lot of reasons why I don't really like it that much and why I put it in the 6th spot. So the first thing I really like about this animation is the colors and the background of the animation. Something that we haven't seen before in Duel Links when it came to its animations is definitely like a more bright and colorful background with all the flowers and the bright blue sky. I like it. I actually like it a lot. Another thing I really like too is just the theme of the colors. I'm a huge sucker for the shade of blue that they're going with. I like Ancient Fairy's Dragon's color of blue, and like I said, it really pops out and it's very vibrant, and I do really like that about this animation. So that's kind of the one things that I really say that I like about it, is simply the colors and where it's set up. This is the animation that I've never really seen before and what direction Duel Links has went with, and I think it matches Ancient Fairy Dragon really well, and there's that right there. Now, the things that I really don't like about this animation is just kind of how, I guess, meh it is. While the colors and contrasts are really nice about this animation, there's definitely nothing really going on right here. Just Ancient Fairy Dragon comes out of, you know, a pile of, like, you know, flowers, kind of does a little twirl, and that's about it. Nothing really, like, stands out to you, and you're just like, oh, cool, this is all right. It's not the worst animation in the world by far, it really isn't, but it's just something that's kind of just mediocre at best, and there's nothing really to remember about it. So that's kind of why I put Ancient Fairy Dragon in the number 6 spot. Coming into the number 5 spot, I'm going to be putting Stardust Dragon summoning animation in the spot. Now, I really did not want to put Stardust Dragon so low on a list like this, but sadly, Stardust Dragon's animation is just not that good compared to some of the other Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D summoning animations that I'm going to be talking about later in this video, and you'll see why. But just, man, they really did not do a good job with Stardust Dragon's summoning animation. Like, it's not the worst summoning animation, like, ever. There's a lot of, like, really cool things about Stardust Dragon summoning animation. I'm still satisfied when I synchro summon Stardust Dragon in Duel Links and seeing the animation, but like comparing Stardust Dragon summoning animation to like some of the other animations in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, especially the 5D's World one, Stardust Dragon just cannot compete with the other Signer Dragons when it comes to its summoning animation. And I'm going to kind of dive into why I think that, and I'm going to talk about the good and bad parts on Stardust Dragon summoning animation. Now, a couple good things about Stardust Dragon summoning animation is the beginning. The beginning is really nice. I like how they did this like beam of light shining across your screen right away through summoning animation, and then eventually like Stardust Dragon comes swooping in, going through that beam of light. I think that's honestly really cool right there. I love that part so much about the summoning animation. And also I really like the like final entrance of Stardust Dragon, like at the end of the animation where he does a couple twirls and just kind of pops up ready to fight. I really like that about Stardust Dragon summoning animation. Those two parts of the animation are really nice, and it's like, man, this animation's alright, not too bad. But then after seeing Stardust Dragon summoning animation and you kind of like try to compare it to some of the other other animations in Duel Links, you kind of realize that Stardust Dragon's summoning animation is really similar to Elemental Hero Neos' animation. Once you start comparing Elemental Hero Neos' and Stardust Dragon's summoning animations, you can instantly tell how similar they both are. Both ace monsters are starting off doing their own thing. Elemental Hero Neo starts off with, you know, what seems like he kind of comes from the bottom of the screen, if I remember correctly. Kind of is coming from some sort of planet or sun. I don't really know, but you can definitely see some sort of like circular object in the background, and we would assume that's where Elemental Hero Neos is coming from. And then he kind of flies through the screen and then does his little pose. Now, Stardust Dragon just does the same thing. Stardust Dragon does its own little thing at the start, does its little beam of light effect, which, like I've said before, I really like that. Then it follows Neos's like path exactly the same, in my opinion. Stardust Dragon just kind of goes swooping in after its little special beginning part, swoops in around the same angle as Neos. It's really similar, in my opinion. Like, it's not the exact same, of course, but it's really similar. And then he just flies through. Then Stardust Dragon also does its little special pose. It does a couple little twirls and then gets ready into its fighting position, like Neos, where Neos, he kind of just gets ready to fight. He kind of rises up to the air, pumps up himself, and then gets ready to fight. So it's just so strange to me on why Stardust Dragon's summoning animation is so similar to Elemental Hero Neos's, but at the same time, it just feels like Stardust Dragon's animation just didn't have the same exact effort as Elemental Hero Neos, in my opinion. Now, with Elemental Hero Neos's summoning animation, I've mentioned in my top 10 video on the summoning animations that I really like Neos. I think Neos got into like my 7th or 6th place out of like every single summoning animation in Duel Links before the 5D's world, and I really like Neos's animation, but like comparing Stardust Dragon to Elemental Hero Neos, it's just Stardust Dragon just feels like a lesser version of Elemental Hero Neos's animation, and it just doesn't feel good, in my opinion. And then another thing I want to say about Stardust Dragon summoning animation too is just the fact on how dull its colors are. I really don't like how dull Stardust Dragon's animation is for the colors, because I feel like the blues and the whites and just everything about Stardust Dragon should feel more vibrant, but it really doesn't. It just feels dull overall. It just feels like a copy and pasted version of Elemental Hero Neos's summoning animation, but even worse. You can literally take that meme of like, hey bro, can I copy your homework? And then your bro's like, yeah, sure, just don't make it look obvious. It's literally that meme right here, guys. Stardust Dragon's summoning animation is literally that meme right there. So that's why I sadly had to put Stardust Dragon summoning animation in the 5th spot, because it just looks so similar to Elemental Hero Neos's summoning animation, and then just compared to some of the other monsters in the same list, that it's just not the same. It's just not as good as some of these other summoning animations in this list. So yeah, sadly, Stardust is in the number 5th spot. Coming into the number 4 spot, I'm going to be putting Red Dragon Archfiend summoning animation in this spot. Now, I really like Red Dragon Archfiend summoning animation. I know a lot of people, when they first saw Red Dragon Archfiend summoning animation when it got revealed a while back, a lot of people were saying that it does look a lot like Red Eyes Black Dragon summoning animation, which I completely agree. I think they do look really similar, but compared to Stardust Dragon and Elemental Hero Neos' summoning animation, how I think Elemental Hero Neos' summoning animation looks better than Stardust Dragon, it's kind of the opposite effect for me, where I actually like Red Dragon Archfiend's summoning animation more than Red Eyes Black Dragon summoning animation. So the first thing that I really like about Red Dragon Archfiend summoning animation is just how they set up the animation, where at first you're at the bottom of the active volcano, the camera starts pointing upwards to the peak or the top of the volcano, and all of a sudden you see an explosion. Then it switches to another panel where you see Red Dragon Archfiend basically appearing out of the volcano and just kind of going into his pose. I think that's honestly one of the coolest things about this animation. It's just how cool they set it up. The background is very interesting to look at compared to like some of the other animations that we talked about in today's video. Calling you out, Stardust Dragon, your background was kind of meh, but with, you know, Red Dragon Archfiend, just the volcano was looking really nice. The fact that it seems to be just exploding out of the volcano, which is honestly so cool, and I like that so much. And just overall, I think this animation is pretty solid. It's not the best one out there, because I mean, afterwards, when the volcano erupts and you see Red Dragon Archfiend summoning animation, it is a little bit dull on the movements that he does, but overall I think it's a lot better than Ancient Fairy Dragons and Stardust Dragons animations, where the movement from both of those two were not that good compared to Red Dragon Archfiend and some of the other monsters on the list that we're going to be talking about later. But still, Red Dragon Archfiend's little things are a little dull in my opinion, but overall still really cool. Love the animation. Honestly think it deserves the number 4 spot, and yeah, and I do think it's actually better than Red Eyes Black Dragon, so there's that also right there. But still, overall, really cool summoning animation, like it a lot. Let's go move on to the next spot. Coming up into the number 3 spot, I'm going to be putting ya boy, Power Tool Dragon, in this spot. Now, I think Konami did a fantastic job with this summoning animation. Straight off the bat, you're seeing your boy Power Tool Dragon flying through some sort of like computer of some sorts. I don't really know what to describe this area, but it's definitely like tech related, which makes sense because Power Tool Dragon is a machine dragon, which is really cool. Next up, what's awesome about the summoning animation is that while he's flying through this little computer, he's getting his tools equipped for him, which makes sense because mostly with Power Tool Dragon, it's an equipped based monster. So you can see get his little left equip of that, like, I don't know, a screwdriver of some sort, whatever it is, he's getting that piece equipped to him on his left arm, and then on the right piece, he's getting his right piece equipped to his right arm, which is like some sort of claw or something. But yeah, I just love how they set it up where he's just flying through this little computer and then just equips all of his tools together. I love that part about it, and it's so creative and unique in my opinion, where I just really like it. Like, this animation is so fun to look at. So there's that right there. And then to top it off, what I really like about this animation too is that when he's getting into its final pose for the animation, you can see his eyes start to glow and get ready for the fight. And I don't know, it's just, I don't know what else to say, but it's just awesome. I don't really have anything exactly negative to talk about this animation. The colors look great. They're very different and unique, where the yellow pops out really well from the background of the computer. So while the background's kind of dull, its yellow pops out really a lot. And yeah, I just like it so much. I don't know where your boy's located, but overall, it's such a really cool animation. Don't really know what else to say except that Power Tool Dragon's summoning animation is really cool, and I just thought that it deserves to be in the number 3 spot. In the number 2 spot, I'm going to be putting Black Rose Dragon's summoning animation in this spot. Now, the reason why I want to put Black Rose Dragon into the number 2 spot is simply because it's just a really good summoning animation. I don't really have that much negative points to say about the animation. I pretty much just have positives to say about this animation because it just looks so nice. I love the beginning of the animation where it just pops up with beginning with just a bunch of roses, which makes sense because this is Black Rose Dragon after all. And then the vines just kind of whip through the screen, and then it starts pointing you towards Black Rose Dragon. And then you just start seeing Black Rose Dragon do another little pose. It does like a cry in the forest to just make it look so epic, and then overall it just ends off with Black Rose Dragon looking clean as always right there. It's such a cool animation. I do like it so much. I don't know, I think this is just a really killer animation, especially compared to some of the other animations too. The colors look so nice. I love the background of the forest. The background of the forest just matches so well with Black Rose Dragon, and the background of the forest really helps out Black Rose Dragon just pop out so well in this animation. If they didn't go with these type of greens and colors in the background of the forest, I don't think Black Rose Dragon would have popped out as well as if it didn't have it or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, I really like this animation. I don't really have anything to really say negatively about this animation except that it's just really good in my opinion. It's such a cool animation and I love it so much. So I'm really glad that Konami did a killer job with this animation, and yeah, I really hope that they keep doing some really cool and original vibrant animations in the future of Duel Links, and don't ever shaft your boy Stardust Dragon like you did in the animations, Konami. Please don't do that. Coming into the number 1 spot, I'm going to be putting ya boy Black Winged Dragon in the number 1 spot. Now, I'm genuinely surprised on, for whatever reason, why, to me personally, Black Winged Dragon summoning animation just looks so nice. It's just a weird thing about it. Like, personally, when I was talking about in my top 10 video on the top 10 Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links summoning animations, I made that video before the Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's world animations got added to Duel Links. I said in that video that I was like, you know what, most likely Stardust Dragon was going to be my number 1 pick for the best animations in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. But as you guys already know, and I ranted for about 4 minutes talking about Stardust Dragon and why I put that in the number 5 spot, it's just kind of interesting to me that all of a sudden I'm just like, you know what, Black Winged Dragon just seems to look the nicest. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like the black and white contrast with each other just looks so nice to me. I really like the movement of the dragon in the animation, where first it rises up to the moon, which is honestly really cool. It rises up to the moon and then it kind of does it like shows off itself, and then eventually kind of swoops down at you and then does another battle cry. Like, it just does so much in the animation but at the same time making it so simplistic, and I just like that so much about this animation. Like I said, I'm genuinely still surprised on how much I like this animation, because there's just something about it that just stands out to me compared to the rest of the animations, even though the background is kind of dull. Well, not really. It's like the background, there's not really much going on to it, but it just matches so well with Black Winged Dragon, and I really just like how Black Winged Dragon kind of like takes, I guess, like a nod in the animation compared to Slifer the Sky Dragon. I can kind of see some similarities between both of those animations, where Slifer and Black Winged Dragon kind of like swoop down upon you. But still, I don't know, it's just such a cool animation, and that's why I wanted to put it into the #1 spot in today's video. Well, I think that's going to be it for today's Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links top 6 video. If you guys enjoyed, as always, be sure to go hit that like button in the video down below and subscribe to the channel if you guys are new for more Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links content. And if you guys have any list of your own on your top 6 best Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links 5D's world summoning animations, be sure to give me your guys' list in the comment section down below. So yeah, I think it's going to do it for me guys today. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll go see you guys in the next Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links video. Goodbye.